Hello and welcome to another edition of The Chat, the official podcast of Chatham County Government. I'm Will Peoples with the Public Information Office, and today I get my first return guest. I'm very excited about this, Captain Sapp from the Chatham County Fire
Morning.
Department. Excuse me. Captain Sapp, how you doing?
Doing good, doing good. Getting ready to start vacation, so I'm almost in that vacation mode.
Yeah, well, you're in vacation mode right now,
Yeah,
and vacation mode coming
vacation.
soon. Captain Sapp's taking a cruise, so we're going to try to get you out there on the water, sir. But I did want to talk to you about something very important today. You guys reached out and asked if we could kind of spread the word about this campaign you guys are doing based on a study from the FSRI.
Right.
What is the FSRI?
Well, it's Fire Safety Commission. It goes out and they do studies for safety in your homes. A lot of things derived from that, smoke detectors and reports of how many smoke detectors save people. This time we're talking about close before you doze. A lot of people don't like closing their bedroom door at night. They talk about how airflow and the air conditioning makes it feel better. We recommend it because if there is a fire in another part of your house, that's a safety barrier. You're in a room that's contained and confined that's keeping the fire out. And it gives the firefighters more time if they respond to try to extinguish the fire and make a rescue of somebody in a room. Plus, if you have the door closed and we can find you in a room with a window, sometimes we can get you out of there safely.
Yeah, I was reading up a little bit on it this morning, and the it's such a stark difference between a door
Oh,
being closed and a door being open.
yeah, like you said when we first started talking, before we started this, you're looking at a little bit of a warmth in a room, 100 degrees. You can sustain that for a long time. Open the door, it can be anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 degrees out in the hallway. Then you don't want to walk into that. That's why they always have the thing, feel the back of the door, feel how it feels. If it
Touch it,
feels
man.
hot and warm. Don't grab the doorknob. You can put your hand around it and you can feel the radiant heat coming off of it if it's a metal doorknob. So you don't really need to touch it. But with wood, you can put your hand on the back of the door and you can feel it transfer through there. If it's warm, it's really hot on the other side.
Well, Kevin, let me take you through this whole scenario here. You're asleep, house catches on fire, and let's say in the scenario first, your door is closed. What are the advantages of having that door closed besides the fact that it's not 1,000 degrees in your room?
Well, while you're sleeping, when the fires first start building, sometimes they're slow burning and they build a lot of toxic fumes and gases that can come into your room. And actually, before you know it, it can actually take you out and you not even realize it with all the carbon monoxides and all that get produced. So you can actually fall asleep and never wake up. With the door closed, they can still get in there, but it's a lot less likely to get a lot of harmful gases in there. It gives you more time. We've had cases, several fire calls that I've been on, where the people hear noise and they think a burglar. Open the door and realize it's crackling from something in front of the house burning. And they close their door and call us if they can't get out. A lot of times it's at a point where they can still make way around it, but not always. We've had cases where they've had to close the door and the firefighters get there and go inside, they knock down the fire and make a rescue.
Yeah, so it's all about giving, in this case,
Time.
the time for the firefighters
Right.
to get in there and do their job.
If you can extend your life in that room and a little discomfort with a little bit of warmth instead of that tremendous heat and smoke and gases, it gives the firefighters, when you call 911, we know how it works. It goes to a phone system that gets dispatched to us, and then we have our response time. It's usually within a few minutes, but you have a few minutes from 911, and you have a few minutes from us, and getting on scene and deploying our hoses and getting on. Now you went from a phone call to everybody says, oh, it's taking forever. It's usually only 6 or 7 minutes. But when you're in a stressful situation, those 6 or 7 minutes feel like an hour.
Yeah.
It's like, are they ever going to get here? So that little bit of time you gave us, it could save your life.
Yeah, and I don't know, and this may be rudimentary fire safety, but hey, it's important because it's something I actually don't know. So this is just for me. If your house does catch on fire, doors closed, you've done all that right.
Yep.
You shouldn't try to get out, right? You shouldn't try to like run through it. What's
No,
the?
don't try to run through it. It
Yeah.
depends because, like I said, if you hear a noise, you open it and there's high smoke, and you can see a path. It depends on where you locate in the house. If you're upstairs, if you go to the stairs and you see flames downstairs and you don't have another way down, yeah, you're gonna have to stay in your room. You're gonna have to go back in there, close up, call us, and try to stay safe. Or if you have an attic ladder, now they have those rescue ladders you can throw out your window, and we recommend that for people with second-story homes. We used to keep one in my son's room. You hook them on the sill, drop them, and you can climb down.
Yeah.
People don't think about those anymore, and they used to be pushed a lot with people with second-story homes. I hardly ever see them anymore.
Yeah. Where do you get those?
You get them at Lowe's, Home Depot,
Yeah.
places like that. They sell them.
It's just kind of a ladder you roll
Oh
down
yeah,
on it. Yeah.
it collapses, has hooks on it. You put it on your sill, you drop it, it deploys itself. Even on if you have a roof with an angle, it'll deploy down that. It may not get you all the way to the ground, but dropping 10, 12 feet is better than
Sure.
setting a house on fire.
Yeah, absolutely. So keep our door closed first and foremost.
Right.
That
Close
that
before you doze.
and that'll prevent the smoke from getting in,
Smoke and harmful gases.
and also the heat from getting in,
Right.
because it's 1,000 degrees out there,
Right.
and that door being closed will keep it about 100.
Yeah, keeps it,
And
like I said, it's tolerable. It's livable.
right.
That's for sure.
And if your house is on fire, if you're on the second floor, make sure you have one of those little window ladders, and get out that way if possible. But don't run through it.
Yeah, don't try to run through it. I mean,
Yeah.
you see in the movies where people wrap blankets around them
Yeah.
and run through it. If you're in a master bathroom and you do have something, you could wet a blanket if it's just heat you're worried about. I wouldn't really recommend it, but I mean, it's life or death. Sometimes you have to do the extreme.
Yeah.
It's hopefully, lately our home fires have been lower. People are more educated. They have more safety devices in their house, like smoke detectors, like we put in last month. We went out with Red Cross and put smoke detectors in. It's a early warning device. They're not fail-proof, but they definitely are nowadays more. You don't have to change batteries. They're good for 10 years. So they're an aid
Yeah.
that you can use to help notify you.
That's a pretty good segue. I know you guys recently did a smoke detector event, right? Tell me a little bit about that.
That was with the Red Cross. They do one every year. This was the Sound the Alarm event for them. They do a big one every year. Even though we work with them all year long doing installs, this is their national event all across the United States. They do thousands and thousands of smoke detector installs with all the departments they can work with. With us, we went and did the Montgomery area, 6th District used to be called that, over on Whitfield Avenue.
Right.
We did Pine Ridge and Whitfield Park. We had about 239 houses there. We made contact with about 92 people and installed over 50 smoke detectors.
Whoa.
Which that doesn't sound like a lot out of 239 houses, but that's 50 more than we had before we walked the neighborhood.
I was going to say, out of 239 houses, those are the ones that didn't have them, right?
Well, not just that. Sometimes people aren't home.
Sure.
So we left door hangers on there saying, we were here. If you want us to call us, we'll be glad to come back. Some people did have working, but we checked them. Like I said, we made lots of contact. We checked them. They were still in service and good. We don't worry about replacing them.
That's awesome. I think that's really proactive, and it just helps people out, because I don't think too much about my smoke detectors. When they beep, when the battery's dead, sure, but
Right. That's when they're going dead. It used to have, when your time changes, you always check your smoke detectors and change the battery.
Oh, that's good.
You don't have to do that anymore, but we still recommend checking them. The only bad thing about that is check the date on them now. You push a button and it beeps, means you got a battery that's working. It does not mean the smoke detector is. We've gone in houses and the smoke detectors have been brown, 20 years old. They always say, well, I push the button and it beep, change the battery. Yeah, but the detector's not good. You have a good battery, that's what you have. So now when the time changes, check the date on your smoke detector. They're almost always sealed now, no batteries. 10 years, throw it away and get a new one. If you're in our coverage area for the Chatham Fire, we're happy to come out there and install them. You just have to go on our website, go to Chatham County Fire or Chatham County Department, and look under fire, and you can see the services we render, and we'll be glad to come out there when you fill a form out. Put smoke detectors in for you. It's all sponsored by the Red Cross. It's free to the customers.
That's wild. That's awesome.
But you can only get 2.
Yeah, I mean, hey, let's.
Well,
if you don't have any.
yeah, if you don't have any, choose more than you started with.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So it's free of charge. Red Cross covers it.
Red Cross covers.
It's a great partnership. Thank you, Red Cross. They do a lot for us.
Great job. Whenever we have fires, they come in and help with services for people that need to be put up someplace. They do a lot of things that I never realized until I started working with them. They can get medications. They can get eyeglasses for you. They get clothing, which I knew that. I knew they put people up, got food. But I never knew they'd help with also mental services. They have doctors that help and therapists that'll talk to you. They do a great job.
You should see them during hurricanes. They really they get out there. Yeah. But yeah, well, Captain Sapp, is there anything else that you'd like to discuss today on the podcast? Anything the public should know about?
Well, like I said, just check the county website and look under the fire services. We also do home inspections for people that wonder if they have the right things in their house. We'll go through and say, if they have a fire extinguisher, make sure it's working in service. Well, not working, but in service, because it'll have the little indicator on there. The dial shows it's green. Might recommend where you might need a smoke detector, a carbon monoxide detector, which we do not supply those, and Red Cross does not at this time. Who knows, they might get into it, but happy to go out and check your house for you.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Captain Sap, we're happy to have you on today. And I don't know if you guys noticed, there's a little bit of a difference in we got babyface Captain Sap
Yeah,
over
last
here
time I
today.
had my mustache in Super Bowl Sunday, I did not lose a bet. I just shaved it off for
He-
a change.
He's trying to look cool for his wife on the cruise. It's going to be a
Yeah.
good time. Well, I hope you have a great time on your cruise, sir. Thank you so much for joining us on the chat, and thank you for joining us on the chat. We hope you learned something today. We know that fires are a scary situation, but the more you know, the more prepared you can be.
That's right.
And hope you learned something today from Captain Sap. And I hope you join us next time on the chat. Have a good day, guys.